Morning. Welcome to Wake Up Real Estate Tech Tip Thursday. Got a couple of fun things to share. A great question that came in as a follow-up to yesterday's session, an update or upgrade to a piece of tech that we love and recommend. And I'm sure we'll have some good banter and some comments below as well. Do us a huge favor and like, comment, subscribe, share. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please rate and review on that platform. And let us know if you have topics, ideas, things that you would like us to dig into. Yesterday, both on our live show and in our mastermind, Google local services ads came up. And so that's something that we'll be doing some deep dive on the next week or two to see if we can help solve the problem for myself. The problem being it was working for me. It was a great source of really high quality bottom of funnel leads, and then it's dried up. So if I can get them working again for myself and share some best practices there, I'm looking for an expert, maybe a subject matter expert that we might be able to have on the show or on the mastermind. So more to come on that. And basically all of the tech tips today are pretty much a follow-up to yesterday's show. So if you haven't checked out yesterday's show, definitely want to check that out. Postcards for farming using thanks.io. And we'll dig into that in a minute. But first, Ryan, do you have a social post?
Yeah, I do. I found this old video I had laying around that anybody can grab. I'm putting it on the Wake Up site now.
Oh, beautiful.
So where are we at? So it's just a quick little blurb about how people work with the first agent they meet. You know, or a friend or relative who happens to be licensed, but choosing the wrong agent can be expensive and stressful. If you're planning to interview two or three agents who are choosing one to help you buy or sell, we'd be excited to chat with you. And this video, I think Justin had it made for something we were doing a while back, but it's kind of a nicely produced. I think it was a pretty expensive video to get made. So I figured if you guys want to use it and somehow post it, you can grab it on the videos page of Wake Up Real Estate. And you can see I'm just uploading it here now to that page. So you can go grab it.
Yeah, so wakeup.real estate. If you don't have an account there, you can create a forever free account, get access to great stuff like this, text scripts, templates, lead capture pages, replays of our mastermind sessions, which we do Wednesdays at 1 Eastern each and every week, and in even mini courses. For example, I've been documenting and sharing best practices for short form video content. And Mike has turned that into a little mini course that we will continue to add more tutorials and examples to as well. So you should definitely check that out. Okay. A couple of quick things that I wanted to share. Number one is some updates to iList. Okay. If you're not familiar with iList, we've had the CEO on a couple of times. We talk about it pretty frequently. It is, in a nutshell, it is an interactive seller dashboard. So it is a wonderful homeowner or seller specific engagement tool. And the example that Joe often uses, or the juxtaposition that he uses, is buyers. You know, if you've got an IDX website or when buyers go to Zillow, that experience is very interactive when they're searching for properties. And what they've tried to do with iList is create a similar interactive, engaging platform, but specifically for sellers around their existing home. Okay. You can get a free trial with iList at growwithjosh.com/iList. growwithjosh.com/iList. And on yesterday's show, the example postcard was driving homeowners, the people getting the postcard, to when they scan their interactive dashboard. They don't have to log in. They don't have to do anything. Ryan and Joe have worked together to make that seamless creating an engaging, valuable experience for that seller. Okay, so you can check that out. And Joe, they do a mastermind every Thursday at 1:30 Eastern, and I'm the guest today. Joe asked me if I'd come on and talk about some of the things that we're doing with iList. And I got an email from him yesterday, I think, about some new features that they've bolted on to the platform and to their built-in CRM. So, for example, they've put together or added more automated campaigns and marketing into the CRM function. So if you're already using iList, you have that to look forward to. Their CRM is a white label version of Go High Level, which is a wonderful CRM with lots of great functionality, etc. They've also added more email templates for both home valuation and cash offer. So there's not only a dashboard for their values where they can see 4 different automated values, but there's now an interactive dashboard for cash offers as well. They've added some automated workflows and some new website and landing page templates. So you can check all of that out. growwithjosh.com/iList. It's a free trial. I think it's like 30 or 45 days. And for what you get, it's pretty killer.
It's cool stuff. And those pages convert really well. I also put the instruction link for the people who want to do what Josh was showing yesterday. Some videos I made for on the thanks side of that. But and Joe, I'll just say Joe and his team are really supportive of their users. Like they go above.
They want the users to succeed, no question. Which, you know, as crazy as this sounds, that is not the case with everybody who is in this niche. It's just the reality. I'm sure you've all experienced that, unfortunately. And so if you're interested in any or all of that, go to wakeup.realestate, use the chat widget bottom right, or just email mike@growwithjosh.com. And we have a whole bunch of content, training, things that you can just swipe and deploy and marry it up with thanks.io. We're trying to do the heavy lifting for you as much as possible and make it as easy as possible for you to implement these kind of strategies. The other thing that I wanted to spend a couple minutes on is a great question that came as a follow-up from yesterday, which was or is Bob Murray in I don't know, he's in somewhere southeastern PA. He asked, which should I use to build a list to send these postcards to that we showed yesterday? Okay. And I sent him a video reply this morning because when questions like that, I find that often it's easier for me to just talk through the answer than to type it out. And for most people, you know, it's easier for them. They can listen to it multiple times, etc. The answer is it depends. Okay. It depends, right? Are you or do you just want to send out 10, 25, 50, 100, 1,000 postcards around a radius of people that, based upon artificial intelligence and different algorithmic data points, that might be more likely to sell? Or do you want to send it to a more targeted, filtered list, right? And there's no right or wrong answer there. It's just like, you know, what are you thinking about doing? So what I thought I would do today, because we haven't shown this tool in a while, is and this was at Ryan's recommendation, is I'm just going to log into Propstream, which is a data provider that I have been using and talking about for many years on the YouTubes. I've even had one of their head trainers on many times.
I kind of just want to see it. I'm not too familiar with it, so that's why I brought it up.
Yeah,
and
right on.
And it's funny how the universe works. I had another agent send me a list of pre-foreclosures that he got out of Propstream yesterday, and we were talking about how he might leverage that list. So yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So I've got a ton of content on my Josh Schoenly coaching YouTube channel where I've had their head trainer on, and some of them I just recorded for myself on a bunch of different ways that you can use this data provider, Propstream. They offer a free 7-day trial. If you use my affiliate link, yes, I get a little chunk of change. And yes, we have some bonuses if you use that, which is growwithjosh.com/PS. growwithjosh.com/PS for Propstream. There are other data providers. Okay. So I'm not saying, you know, I always get people asking, well, what do you think about this one? What do you think about that one? And my answer often is, I don't know, because I don't have any way of comparing them apples to apples, because I've been using Propstream for a while. And the reason why I've been using them is it works. And I like the way the filtering, and I understand how it works. And it's got built-in skip tracing, and not just that, but it will give you the numbers that are on the do not call or the known litigators list. So I like it for a whole bunch of reasons, right? I'm just going to walk you through some example filtering strategies here. So whether this is for Bob or anyone, let's say I'm just going to pull up one of the zip codes in my county. You can filter by zip code, city, or county. Zip code, city, or county. Okay. I've got a zip code pulled up here. And you can see when I just pull up the zip code, it says unique properties 16609. Yes, right.
And I don't know if you know this, but I think you can do a drawing, like a rectangle? See that rectangle?
You absolutely can. So
okay.
Yes, you absolutely can do a polygon. And in fact, I've used this many times to build a customer curated list to send out just sold or just listed, or even farming postcards. So you absolutely there is a draw feature here, and you can
I can see that being
literally just select 10 properties if you want. You can draw.
I can see that being really useful for school districts.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. That's a great point, right? Because you can't filter directly by school districts, but you could, if you know loosely the boundaries, you could draw that for sure. So lots of different ways you can filter geographically, right? And then once you do that, there are some preset quick list choices. So if I go to filter, there are a bunch of quick list choices. There's on market. Okay, that means they're listed on the MLS. We probably don't want to reach out to those, right? And in fact, one of my best practices is I always exclude the ones that are listed on the market. I'll show you how I do that in just a minute. But there's vacant, there's liens. So there's liens against the property, pre-foreclosures, auction, bank-owned, cash buyers, high equity, free and clear, bankruptcy, divorce, tax delinquencies, flippers, failed listings, senior owners, vacant land, tired landlords, zombie properties, pre-probate. Okay. Now, that's their quick list choices. And depending on your area, some of this data may or may not be available. So for example, bankruptcy and divorce, if I select those in Pennsylvania, I get almost nothing. Okay. But you may be in a state where that data is more easily or readily available, and you might be able to pull that. Okay. The other thing I would say is most often what I will do is combine a quick list choice with other filters. So for example, let's say I wanted to choose pre-probate properties. Now, their definition of this is where one of the owners is now deceased. Okay, so it was a married couple or an unmarried couple that were both on the deed, and one of them has now passed away. Okay. So before this actually gets to probate is the idea here. When I choose that, I've got 98 properties that shows up here. Okay. I can see it over here, but I always want, or at least what I do and recommend is I'll choose MLS status here, and I'll choose no to on market. Now, none of these are actively on the market currently because I selected no, and it automatically updates, and it still says 98 properties. I can choose any other, there are lots of other ways I could filter here. So I could go to ownership info, and I could choose absentee owner, out of state, out of county. There's only 2 of those. So what that means is these 2 properties are non-owner occupied, where the owners live out of the county or out of the state, and one of the owners of record has passed away. I mean, that's a really, small and targeted list. My point in illustrating that is the there's there's literally a limitless number of ways that you can filter this down, which is great, but it can also be, it can get a little bit overwhelming. And so what I would tell you is if you want to, if you want to have a quick chat about strategically who you're trying to connect with, I'd be happy to do that. I get excited and like doing this kind of stuff. But let's say I'm going to clear these filters here. So we're still going to leave 17050. So we still have 17050. And Ryan mentioned that he had somebody send him a pre-foreclosure list that was pulled from Propstream. So I choose that here. And right now there's only 6 that come up for this zip code. Okay. Now, in that case, maybe I want the whole county, right? So I'll change from 17050 to Cumberland County. And just, I mention this often, but if this is your first time listening, I'm in a very rural county. So Cumberland County, Pennsylvania, the total population is like 200,000, right? So you may get these numbers from a single zip code, right? If you're in a super densely populated zip code or a single city, right? But we're pretty rural in Cumberland County here. But if I choose the entire county pre-foreclosures, I've got a list of 91. That postcard that we shared yesterday, that might be a wonderful postcard to send to these 91 homeowners that are in pre-foreclosure. Okay. That's a targeted list that you can literally, all I have to do is select all here, add to list. I can say create new Cumberland County pre-foreclosures. And what's the date? 25th. So I can save that. And then if I want to export that list, I can go right over here to I think my properties. I always forget where it's the marketing list. Yeah. So my properties marketing list, and then I got to go find what I just called it, Cumberland County pre-foreclosure list. This one here. And then I could export this. Okay. And I could import it into thanks.io and send a mailing. Now, before I do that, I might also want to skip trace that list. And so I can go over here on the left-hand side. I can choose skip trace, select contacts, select a group. So I got to go find my marketing list again here. As you can see, I use this a lot. I have a lot of saved lists. I have to add the selected contacts. Then I have to select them again, hit done. Now I've got 91 contacts selected. And if I click next, so for $6.72, I will get data with, I'll get appended data with email and phone number for these contacts. And there's a whole process that we have for, what you can do with that additional data, or you don't have to do any of that. You could just take the raw list that has the address and the owner information, upload it to thanks.io and send a postcard. Okay. How else might you filter, right? I'll show a couple more here. But literally we have, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 videos of examples of how you can do the different filtering. There's even ways that you can filter for commercial properties or
that's what I was going to ask.
Multifamily properties. Like literally, there's just a limitless.
You can get business owners,
amount.
basically. People, you can get business owners or businesses.
Well,
or it's just based on the
let's play around with that. So let's say if I wanted business owners, so if I go to property characteristics here, so I've got the whole county. I go classifications, commercial. It's not yielding. So some of this filtering is going to vary depending on your county. And I already mentioned that I'm in a rural county, so that may be affecting it. If you want to specifically target business owners, I'd have to think through that. But what you can do, let's say I'm going to choose tired landlords here because I know that'll give a lot of records. Okay, that's 18,000. That's for the whole county. Okay, and let's say if I go to ownership info, I can look at and sort by individual owned. Okay, corporate. So 12,000 individually owned, or I could say corporate owned, 5,916, or even mixed. I'm not sure what the mixed is, 64. So lots of ways you can filter here. Okay, lots of ways you can filter.
Age?
You cannot do age.
Is that
Here's
because
what
of-
I've been told by Propstream on the age question.
Yep.
According to them, okay, that data is not necessarily available. So there are data providers that allege to provide that information. And according to, again, this is just according to Propstream, because I've asked them numerous times, because I've had people ask me, like, hey, can they get that data? Is that data providers that are offering that information are making it based upon best guesses. So they're taking data points that they have and using some kind of algorithm to project what the age of the person might be. Okay. But let's say you want to target folks who might be prime to downsize or right size. Okay. Though you can't go by age, what I could do is I've back to my zip code here. I can go MLS status, not on the market, right? We don't want them to be on the market. Property characteristics. We'll go minimum number of stories, 2. Okay, so now I've got all the 2 stories. I'm going to remove the mixed thing. So ownership info, I'm going to choose individually owned, right? And then I'm going to choose number of years of ownership, minimum 20.
Okay.
538. So what I have here is a list. I don't necessarily know their age, but I can assume some things, right? They're most likely at least 45-ish, and they've been in this home for 20 or more years. Maybe you want to go 25 even, right? So 25, now that cut it way down for me. Maybe I want to go 22. 22 is 282 properties where, it might be that they're getting to a point where, they've been in the house long enough to have kids who are maybe now gone to college, and they might be sick of stairs, right? They may or may not be. But this is theoretically or potentially a pretty targeted list. The point is, there's lots of different ways that you could filter. You could just send to vacant properties. And what's going to happen with that? Quite honestly, you're going to get a lot that get returned to you.
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to get a lot that get returned to you. But if you play private investigator and you can find them, most other people probably aren't doing that. So that's like, that's a little, I used to do that way back in the day when I was sending yellow postcards, ugly yellow postcards through click-to-mail. This is like mid-2000s to absentee owners. And there was gold in the ones that were returned. Like if I could find the people, it was absolutely gold in there. So Propstream is one of my favorite tools. You can get a free trial, growwithjosh.com/PS. It's a free 7-day trial. It's $97 per month after the trial. There's no contracts, no long-term commitments. You could literally go in there, save a bunch of data. You can save up to, at the $97 per month, you can save up to 10,000 records. You could go in there, save a bunch, and pause your subscription, right? On the free trial, you can only save 50 records. I'll just say that. And I have multiple examples of people that have gotten listings from signing up for the free trial, filtering down a list using some of the strategies that we just talked to get to 50, or, Shay on my team, he had a list of like 38 that he filtered out on his trial, and he got 2 listings from that list of 38 by just strategically going deeper with that smaller grouping versus going wide with a whole big audience. So, yeah. It depends. Where do you get your list? It depends on what you want to do and who you want to work with, and what type of clientele you're trying to build your business around.
Yeah. So do they also have mail built in yet? Aside from
They
things?
theoretically do. I have never explored that. I've tried to make that connection with you guys for thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I've been asking the wrong person, but I'll ask again because they, I'm a good enough affiliate with them that they send me Christmas gifts.
All right.
There's a house coat or bathrobe that my one son wears that has a Propstream logo on it. I got a big Propstream blanket in the basement. They've sent me all kinds of stuff. So,
yeah, introduce us, because I'd like to potentially put them into things too as a data filter. So
yeah, love it. I will try and make that intro again. Not try to. I will follow up with an intro there. Some housekeeping items. Ryan and I are both out of town tomorrow, so no live show. For those of you that care, Ryan is camping, and I'm taking. We're all going with our oldest for a official visit to Delaware because the baseball coaches want to make him an offer. So that'll be fun and exciting. It gives you some time to get caught up on and binge watch what you missed this week. You can go back and watch the replay of our Fixer Upper financing deep dive Tuesday afternoon. You can go back and watch the replay of the mastermind session from yesterday, which Mike has already added to the Wake Up site, or just watch past shows, or just invest that time into actually working in your business and generating some appointments and opportunities, which Mike's been in my database. We've been mining my database this week, my local database, via text message for the first time in a few weeks, just holidays and busy, etc. And we've been able to pull out a good number of appointments. So there's if you've got a database, there's gold in there. You just gotta work it a little bit.
Get it.
Yep. Okay. Well, thanks everybody. I hope you have a great weekend. I would urge you to take action. Try out here's what you should do tomorrow. If you've never used thanks.io, sign up for your free account. You get $10, I think, in free credits, sending credits. Send 10 postcards. Send 10. See what happens. Right? Now, don't jump to any conclusions, good or bad, from that 10, but just like get comfortable with the platform. Get comfortable with using it, and whether you send 10 to past clients or you go in and you grab 10 likely sellers within the 10 most likely sellers within proximity to your address, whatever, do something. And if you need help, let us know.
I saw a guy send I'm moving to your area and I want to buy your house letter yesterday. I don't know if it was an agent. I didn't look into that, or but it was a very personal. I want to buy and I want to move in as an owner occupant. So it could be something you help your clients do. It might seem better coming from the buyer than from you.
Right on.
Yeah, just a thought.
Right on. Chris says I'll be driving right past your house on 41. I don't think we took. So I was there on Sunday for a camp, and they liked what they saw, which is why they want to have them back so quickly. I remember being on 41. Maybe I was. I don't know. But I'll wave, Chris. I'll wave. It's really close. I didn't realize it's just it's less than 5 miles from the PA border. So anyway, enough of that. Take some action. Use the text script that we shared on Tuesday. Send a couple of postcards out. Do something, and then report back Monday when we're back live. We would love to hear from you. Have a great rest of the week and weekend, and talk to you then. Oh, you shared you added the wrong.
I'm looking for the Delaware clip from Wayne's World. Where's that? All right. Here it is.
Anyway, that'll be this will be reason for those of you listening only to go check out the YouTube video. Delaware.
Delaware. All right. Have fun, Josh.
All right. Take care, everybody. See ya.